All right, fellas, we back at it again. Another episode. This is episode 216. As you see on the screen, got my little brother John, my smaller brother Danny. They're at the bottom handling it. Today we're going to be talking about a clip that I found interesting from Dave Ramsey. John is going to be breaking down his affection for number two and electric cars. Yeah, I know
Okay,
it's a
that's
weird
kind of
situation.
strange.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to say, but
I wasn't.
it's what you
Oh,
said.
yeah, I wasn't aware of this number two talk.
Yeah, no, it's literally gonna be a crappy conversation. And then my boy Danny handling the understanding of odds in the playoffs, seeing as the NFL playoffs kick off this weekend,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right,
You
all right,
got 3
guys,
days
let's
of
get into it
playoffs
with
this
the
weekend
intro.
too.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, see you in a second. Yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man, let's just jump right into this shit. So,
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway.
you,
It's a major.
pues algo eso.
Oye,
Pues algo en
hablar
español.
español. ¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers.
Goddamn right.
To the Match at a podcast.
Hating on the sweater.
You're so disrespectful. Hey man, real quick, it kind of bothered me. I just noticed something. I don't know if I changed the lighting on my laptop or what, but I realized how white I look in my logo. So I'm gonna have to have a conversation with somebody because it looked very Caucasian. I wasn't a fan of that at all.
You're not that dark.
No, but I'm not that white, right? Like I saw you squint, I was like, "What's Danny squint?" I was like, "God damn, I look white." Okay, my credit done went up 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, before we get into this first topic, how y'all doing, man? How y'all been?
Good. I've been working. Got the kids. My life is as boring as it gets.
That's right. How about you, Lil John? Feet swinging over there?
No, I lowered the seat just enough, so my toes are touching.
Jonathan's the only person on the internet that has an adjustable chair and table. Gotta make sure it stays at the correct height at all times. Because
Let me tell you, I've seen those adjustable tables. Like, those are badass.
The IKEA
can,
ones,
like,
son,
stand
They're called
sit.
standing desks, by the way. They're
Yeah,
not just adjustable tables. You just stand all day because sitting is killing us slowly. But
No,
that's a
yeah.
different topic for another day.
You're right.
that's a good one. Look at you just buzzing that out. I'm gonna write that down. Jonathan dropping gems out here in these streets.
I'm a fucking Lauren Hill you to death, killing you slowly while sitting down.
Okay, well, don't. It's a little weird. She got one eyebrow now. She out there like Anthony Davis.
She can have zero eyebrows. She's one of the greatest. Don't you hate
Yeah,
her?
all right.
Is she one of the
let's stay.
greatest? She had one hot album. Is that you consider one of the
All right,
greatest?
you know what? Let's
hot
move on. Let's move.
Oh,
Let's just
see,
get
see,
on
this
this
is
all the time.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, she had two, son. Let's keep it a buck. She had two. She had two albums. And then she fell off the face of the earth. But whatever. Look,
The
we
Miss
can't.
Education and the Fugees. That's it.
No, she had one after Miss Education of Lauryn Hill. The one that like was like dedicated to White Clef. I can't remember the name. Whatever. Look, we're getting sidetracked, man. Let's stay focused. See, this is how shit starts right there.
We go
right
on tangents sometimes. That happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah, man. You know what I mean? Listen, last week on Twitter, I saw that Dave Ramsey was trending. I was like, who the fuck and why the fuck would Dave Ramsey be trending? He's a financial like advice guru type of guy. Like my people that I know have read his book. Not knocking it for like the whole thing of like attacking your debt, paying the smallest bill first, and letting that debt roll into the next one, and how to pay off your house. He has all this advice, right? So I was like, all right, maybe. What'd you say?
It's the snowball effect.
Yeah, the snowball effect.
And not some sexual maneuver that you try to pull when you were younger.
Whoa, that's a different conversation.
Never mind.
We're busting out random podcasts inside a podcast. This is like inception of a podcast.
I had heard of the donkey punch, but I had never heard of the snowball.
Spider-Man,
The
wheelbarrow.
donkey punch.
You haven't heard of any of them? The Spider-Man and the wheelbarrow.
What the hell is this?
You ever heard of the
No,
donkey punch?
No. Hey, listen. No.
hey, let's talk about Dave
Shut it
Ramsey
down.
and snowball.
Shut it down. Shut the
Sorry,
fun
sorry.
down right now.
Not-
Oh no, I
not
thought
fault.
everybody was eating the chips.
Not fault.
All right, look, man. Look, let's stay focused here.
Sorry,
So
don't-
Dave
don't do
Ramsey
that.
was trending on. How is it that I'm the one that's reining this shit in? I'm usually the guy that just talks about anything. All right, look.
Yeah.
So last week Dave Ramsey was trending. I saw the clip. I was like, nah, I gotta get better context for this because I've made the mistake in the past of just reacting off that one little snippet and thinking, oh, this dude's wilding. So the question was asked to him because he hosts basically like a podcast every day, like giving financial advice. People call in, write in, and all this shit. So a writer wrote in saying that he was a landlord. I'm just gonna give you guys the question, and then we'll roll to the clip. Saying that he was a landlord, but he was having a tough time connecting and putting together the understanding of like being a landlord and a Christian, because he has to charge people who might not make enough money when the market changes, charges them higher rent. So he doesn't know how to like kick if he raises their rent or kicks them out at market rate or what he does. So it was like he's having that inner struggle of being a Christian and a landlord. So then this is a small snippet from what Dave Ramsey responded. It was a 6-minute video. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, and we'll play just a couple clips, and here is the beginning of his response to it. And
then
here
we'll
we
break
go.
it down.
Yeah, it's the 2-minute, 10-second mark.
My rent to be market rate, that does not make me a bad Christian. I did not displace the person out of that house if they can no longer afford it. The marketplace did. The economy did. The ratio of the income that they earned to their housing expense displaced them. I didn't cause any of that. And so you are not displacing them. You're taking too much credit for what's going on.
There you go.
If they need to.
What? So look, you could get the full video if you want. I mean, watch it on his website, on his YouTube channel. What I want to open it up to you guys, right? Like I want to see what you guys think first, because I already went on like a tangent pre-show and talking about it with my wife. So I actually want you guys' take for seeing it for the first time, you know what I mean, yesterday, and talking about it and seeing what you guys think. Because I want to make sure, like, when we do this show, like, whatever topics we bring, you know what I mean? Like, I send it out to you guys, but we wait to the show to talk about it, so it could be an original conversation instead of, like, some written shit. So what do you guys think? Whoever wants to go first. Dan, if you got something. Jonathan, what y'all got?
Ben, thank you for describing what a conversation versus what a monologue or a script would be. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I'm sure whoever's listening appreciates that too.
Go ahead, John. You get your stuff.
But
I hate you.
Look, man. We'll watch the rest of the clip. We started at the 2-minute, 10-second mark, and what he had to say up to that point, I didn't disagree with him. Those 20 seconds that we just listened to, I mean, look, that's part of business. You displace people. I don't think you're a bad Christian. I think I agreed with everything that he said, with the exception of, look, take ownership. Like, the market didn't displace them.
Yep.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Most places in the U.S. don't have rent protection. So when the rentals go up and someone's lease is up, if they want to renew, most landlords are going to increase based on the market, right?
Yep.
And now he went into some stuff saying, well, if the market rate went up, I'm going to raise it to the market rate. I get that. That's capitalism. That's the market. But he's not hurting, because when he bought that house, the market was what it was whenever he bought that house 5-10 years ago. He's paying his mortgage on it. His mortgage stays the same. It might fluctuate a little bit with property taxes, stuff like that, but for the most part, his mortgage stays the same, while the rental market keeps going up. So again, that's all part of business. But I just think that he needs to own it. Instead of saying the market displaced you, he could just own it, because I agree with everything that he says. It's part of the world that we live in. If you're not living in a place that has rent protection, you're going to pay more just about every year, because every year the rent goes up.
Yep. 100%.
And I just think he should own it. I don't disagree that you will raise it, and it doesn't make you a bad Christian. But instead of saying the market and blaming it on these outside forces, no, it's you. You don't have to raise it, the rent, if you don't want to.
Yeah, you
because your mortgage isn't going up.
Yeah.
If anything, your mortgage might go down if you can refinance and find a lower rate. So, I don't disagree that you raise it, but you're doing it. No one else is doing it. You control whether you raise the prices on someone or not.
I agree with everything he said, and I think it is
you
the
can't say
market
that.
that's kicking him. I can.
Your job is to disagree.
No, I can, and I did. I agree with everything you said. Like the whole Christian talk, I'm not a big religious person, but if based off of Christianity being good and whatnot, I don't think that you should consider yourself a bad Christian because you decided to raise the rent to the market value. I think that if he didn't know anything on the house and he wasn't paying a mortgage, if the market goes up, then the rent goes up. That's just the way of life. If I'm leasing, I'm expecting my house or my rent, whatever it is that I'm paying, to go up. I expect that. I know that that's how this system works. So I
Right.
can't expect my landlord to not do that. Could they not do it? Yeah, technically they don't have to do it. But if you're going to be a good bit, because the reason you get into real estate
Being a
is to
landlord.
be
Yep.
right, to be a landlord is because you want to make money. You're jumping into this for a business. You're not being a good businessman if you're not making money or a profit, and you maximize your profit. So
Yep.
I agree with absolutely everything he said. Now, because Ben brought up this topic, I knew that he would be against whatever this guy said. So the whole time that I
Right.
was listening, all I was thinking is, how could
How
Ben
can I side with him?
possibly disagree with him? Because I
Oh,
have
it's
a
easy.
feeling that you're gonna. Oh, it's easy. Okay, all right.
No, look, I don't disagree. Like, it's a business, right? If you look, I don't have a problem being a landowner and a landlord of somebody and raising the rent. That's not, but that wasn't like the question, right? It's like, how do you coincide those things of like being a Christian and a landlord? Is like the way the question is phrased is like, to me, right? Is like putting a landlord and a Christian on like two different spectrums, as if like you can't be a Christian and a landlord, right? Like like these two things are diametrically opposed, right? Because he's saying is like, if you're a Christian, how can are you a bad Christian if you raise somebody's rent? No, man, you're trying to make money. You have to support your family and all that. I get all of that, right? But where
So you agree with
like,
him?
I'm not. I said I didn't disagree with him. I'm saying is like the way the question is, right, is like framing the landlord and the Christian as two opposing sides. You get
But
what
that
I'm
wasn't
saying?
Ramsey. That was
Stop
the
it.
person that was asking the
Stop
question.
it. You wanted to agree with this guy. Come on now.
No,
We got you beat 2-3. Just say I know
first
what
of all,
you
it's
I
2 to
know
1.
what you
It's
didn't
2 to
want to
1.
agree with this
Know
dude,
your
right?
fucking math.
Or
Right? There's
2 out of
you.
3, 2-1. Yeah, two out of 3 disagree with you. But look, I thought that your problem or why you showed me this video was because of the wording saying that I didn't displace them, the marketplace. I
Yes,
thought that
that
was
too. Well, yeah. If you
big.
motherfuckers didn't cut me off,
He didn't own it.
I could
No,
have
no, no,
got
no.
to that.
You were like backtracking like a motherfucker. What? Get out of here.
No, look, that's the problem. Is he didn't take ownership of it. If you're gonna displace them to make more money, then just take ownership. Don't be like, oh, the market did that. The market doesn't
The
fucking
market
send me
does
an
do
email.
that, though. Look, if
No, it
10 years
doesn't.
go by, you have to raise the
But
rent.
I'm saying the market dictates that your landlord has to do that, but you make the decision whether to raise it on that person. That's what you're not accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like you have somebody owns your house, right? Like like I have a mortgage, right? Right now I have
Right.
a mortgage, and we have a friend that pays more in his apartment than I do in my mortgage, right?
But you
Rent
live in the Blair Witch Project.
yeah, 100%. But I
That's
still have
why.
a huge. Yeah, but that's not how that works. First of all, you don't know, like real estate and all that shit. We're getting
So
sidetracked.
here, how about I explain to
Hold
you?
on,
I was a
wait.
landlord.
Let
I
me
was a
fucking
landlord, so I'll
finish.
explain to you from that point of view.
You're like, oh, you're sorry, you're a landlord.
I was.
There you go. Yeah, but you're also not a Christian, so how would you? This doesn't really
My
pertain
wife
to you.
is a very good Christian. Why she's with
Yeah,
me,
I know that
I don't
somebody
know,
has to make you
but I
better.
lucked out. But anyway, look, here's the thing. As a landlord, the market does dictate that, right? I remember I was somewhere where my mortgage was like $1,290 something. We'll call it $1,300. We
Right.
were renting for $2,300. That's what our tenants were paying us. Could have been $1,900, but we had a pool and we paid for the maintenance of the pool. And
Yeah.
so instead of charging $1,900 or whatever it was, they had a private pool instead of having to go to the community pool. We charged 23 or 24, something like that. Again, we weren't really making money. I had to pay for the maintenance of that pool every month, $300, $400, and then
It was just covering
so it
the
was
cost
covering
of
those costs
covering the cost.
because
Yeah.
I didn't trust the tenants to maintain the pool. And when I lived in that house, I maintained it myself. I knew what I had to do. I didn't trust the tenant to deal with that. But again, my mortgage was $1,300. Even if I didn't have a pool and I charged them the $1,800, $1,900 a month, I would have pocketed like $400 after I paid
Right.
my management company. And out of that money, you have to put 10% out for capital costs and improvements and everything else. Like you just got to put money aside anyway. Not all that money goes to profit to like just go and get yourself a
Cost.
steak
You
dinner.
got to pay taxes on that on all that stuff. So you got to
right. But every year that they lived in that house, like the market value was going up. I chose we renewed without raising the rates for like 4 years, 5 years. Eventually, I sold the house. I don't think I raised the rates once, maybe one time towards the end. But we had a price that we wanted to rent it at. The fact that we were renting like with the pool, like we could have raised it even more because we were already above market value technically, only because we had a pool. Not that many houses did. But every year the rate went up for everyone else. So instead of renting for 1900, some houses are renting for 2000, 2100, 2200. Houses that were at 1800 before, because that's
Market
just what
rate.
the market is.
Right.
And I just kept it at 2400. I was like, I'm not hurting the costs of everything else. I'm not incurring those costs. Utilities, this, that, the other, the tenants are paying for them. It was laid out in the contract that there's a deposit, etc. But if there's wear and tear, things that they're responsible for, that's not normal wear and tear, I should say, they're going to pay for those. That was their responsibility. It's my responsibility. Yeah, it's my responsibility to upkeep the house. But if they destroy my house,
contract, right?
even more than like the deposit, like they're paying. It was written out in the contract.
They're paying that cost for sure.
Yeah, and so, but that was my decision. The market went up.
I could have chosen to increase the price. You
What's
had
that?
good tenants. You had good tenants.
I had 2 tenants in
Paying
like
on
this span of
time.
6 years, something like that. Yeah.
Because what happens a lot of times is that when you have a good tenant, it's not easy to find a good tenant. So
Right.
so you play your cards. You're like, you know what? This person's working well for me.
It's
So
reliable.
maybe I won't raise it.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe I won't raise it because what I'm losing in raising the price, I'm gaining in peace of mind because I know that they're responsible. They're not going to tear up my house. They're going to pay on time. So that all plays into it also. But what I wanted to say is that Ben didn't ask us to show a clip where he said, well, if this person shows me that they're going to get a raise in 4 months,
Yeah.
and if they can afford it, then I'll let them stay.
Right.
You know, I can
Yeah,
work
well,
with them.
yeah, we
If
can't play
person's
the whole
going through chemo, well, because you don't want to. You don't want to play that clip because you hate Dave Ramsey.
Right.
If this person's going through chemo,
I actually don't hate Dave
I'm going
Ramsey.
to go through chemo, then I'll work with them
I'll
because
work with them.
I'm a Christian. I want them to. I'm not an ass. I'm going to help them out when I can. He's just talking about the regular business side of it. And the question was, should I, raise the rate and feel okay being a Christian? And yes. If you're in it to be a businessman,
it
shouldn't
be a question. Yeah, it shouldn't be a question.
Like
We
you
should
said, it's not
probably
two
watch-
separate entities.
Yeah, we should watch this last part of the video. I think he talks about
that's
something
what
that you mentioned.
Yeah, I think the chemo stuff is somewhere in the middle, but
It is, but I think he might talk about the good tenant and all that. I don't know.
the good tenant, bad tenant stuff here. Yeah, this is the end of the clip. Go ahead.
Treated. But if you really would expect to get to live there on rental rates that are 75% of the market forever, just because your landlord's a Christian, then you've got something screwed in your brain.
Definitely.
You really do. That's just not how things. That is not a calling of the Bible. That is not something Scripture calls us to undercharge.
Yeah, that just makes
now we don't need to overcharge. We don't need to rip people off. We certainly want to tell the truth and those kinds of things. We're not trying to take advantage in some way.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Never heard of Dave Ramsey before this. You out here.
I
Dick
didn't know.
I know.
I hadn't know. I'm gonna look into him now.
Yeah,
at no point. I just thought this question was. Look, I thought what Jonathan said at the beginning kind of took my whole point. Right, it was like there was no accountability. It was like he's the one making those moves, right? Like yes, the market dictates, but like just how Jonathan made that decision for 6 years of having tenants, you make that decision as the landlord, whether to raise it or not, right? And yes, the negotiation was like, maybe in 4 months, and you have the contract and proof. Obviously, you got to make money. You're a businessman. It was just like the Christianity. It was more so like the Christianity thing. I was like what? Why is that necessary to throw in there? You know what I mean? Because this isn't like a question or anything that went viral. If that isn't thrown in, because that makes all the sense in the world. So it's like when you bring like, does that make me a bad Christian? I was like, that no, man. Like
okay,
you have to make.
You
money.
looked it up on Twitter. You said right?
Yeah,
I saw it on Twitter for
Monday.
It was trending on Twitter.
What were people talking about? What were they saying?
They were saying that well, first of all, Twitter's a crazy place. They were saying like, how is he a good Christian? Like where they going, like when they talk about making so the two things that I saw, most of the comments were like, how do you put those two together? Because like if you're a good Christian, look, none of us here are really religious, right? Like we're not that. Like if you want to,
I believe there's something greater than me. I do.
Yeah,
everybody's literally the other two people on this podcast are greater than you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's easy. Fuck
I
outta
thought that
here.
was I thought that was a serious question. I gave you a
No,
serious
it was
answer.
a statement. There was no like, hey man, what do you think? Do you think we're greater than you? Like, we told you. It was a statement of fact.
Okay.
Moving on. Right? Like, it was, people were saying, it was like it the whole like the camel. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. Right? Like, that whole thing, we're like talking about Christian. This is a statement in Christianity. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that whole thing is like, if you're a businessman, like, you're supposed to have, and a Christian, this is what they were saying, dude. I'm just relaying the comments. It was like, if you're a Christian, you have to have more empathy, more belief for this person. It was like, no man, this is a business. It was like, if that Christianity thing isn't when you throw, because when you throw in religion, it becomes a different conversation. Because if that question is just like, look, I'm having a tough time talking to my tenants and raising their rates because the market dictates, how do I go about that? Then it's a different conversation. But like, when that Christianity thing got thrown in, that's the reason why it went viral. That's what I think it was like the number 2 trending thing behind Kim Kardashian's new ass or whatever the fuck.
I do have one thing where go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, but it wasn't really Dave Ramsey's fault that he was trending. It was the question that was posed to him, and the way they stated it with business and
exactly. Yeah, that's why. Like, I didn't see it. I didn't see it as like this thing to be like, oh, this fucking da da da. I was like, nah, man. Like, I listen to Dave Ramsey shit. Like, I follow some of his points. I've actually literally read his book. You know what I mean? Like, the Snowball Effect and Attacking Debt. Haven't followed everything of it because some of this shit is hard to, first of all, to grasp, because I've never really understood money management in that way. But some of the shit he says is really smart, and it makes all the sense in the world. He's actually a good person to listen to. But like, that's why it was so shocking to see him trending, because he's the guy that just makes a killing, having a bunch of different businesses, being an entrepreneur. And I was like, why the fuck is Dave Ramsey trending? I was like, oh, well, be cool to talk about. And that was it. It wasn't like, oh, fuck Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, no, I do look. There's one thing that I disagree with him on. Not disagree, but he mentioned, and we didn't play it. He says, if you do have a good tenant, then you work with them, but still increase the prices. Is what he was saying. We didn't play that part, but he says, yeah, he'll still increase the prices if the market calls for it. But if they're a good tenant, you'll work for them. Whereas me, I was making a profit and I had good tenants, and I saw no reason to raise the prices because they were good tenants.
He was speaking in general terms, though.
But like, he's speaking also in terms of him as a businessman. That's strictly as a businessman first, Christian second. If we're talking about being a good Christian.
But what I'm saying is he was speaking in general terms. He wasn't saying every year raise the price as you can. He's just saying, like, you raise it. Like, if you think you need to raise it without having that conflict about being a Christian. He's not telling you to raise it every opportunity you get. He's just saying, if you feel like you should raise it, raise it.
I'm telling you that. Okay, I'll look at it that way, but I know that Dave Ramsey's gonna raise it every year if he gets a chance. If the market calls for it, because he's gonna be like, if the market calls for it, I'm not doing it. The market's doing it. Dave Ramsey's gonna raise the price.
Let's say
he's not responsible for. He's not responsible for the raise.
I understand, but let's say that the market calls for a $45 increase. I'm not sure how that's calculated. Do you really think he's going to go out of his way and be like, hey, this year you got to pay $45 more if it's a good tenant? He might not. Again, that's why I'm saying he's speaking in general terms. He didn't say that he would. You're assuming because you don't like him.
Oh, he'll do it. He's a businessman.
He'll do it.
He'll do it.
He's a businessman.
He'll do it because he expects it's going to happen to him as well. Like
if it's a good tenant,
which he said, like he said he leases the building and then he's got to renegotiate the thing. Like, if the market calls for him to be raised, he's going to raise it, and he'd understand. So he'd raise it. I think he'd raise it every single time, because like
you think, but he hasn't said that.
Right, but being the person being the person with Dave Ramsey, again, you're dick riding a guy who never 37 minutes ago you didn't know existed. It's exhausting.
But he makes sense.
But
I
see,
like
everybody
him
can stutter,
now. I'm
motherfucker.
gonna go follow him on Twitter now.
He doesn't. I don't even think he has a Twitter.
Damn it.
Like, it wasn't even like at Dave Ramsey. It was just like Dave Ramsey's, like somebody stating it. Nobody was adding him. But it was like that whole Christian thing was just like, okay, this is why he went viral. Okay, I get it. But like the one thing I wanted to ask you, and John, you being the previous landlord, like, what, when the market goes up, if it goes up a couple, like 20, 45, 50, or $100, that makes a difference to that person? Or how does, you know what I mean? Like, is that something you're really gonna do? Because what if that person doesn't get a raise and can't move, right? Like, obviously there's going into specifics, but there's a lot that goes into that shit. Like, when you're a renter, because a lot of people don't have the credit to be a homeowner. Isn't the landlord's fault, but you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that happens into individual families that get impacted. So I think Dave Ramsey raises it every time to make as most money possible. He's a businessman first, like Jonathan said.
I think so.
Every
But
single time.
businessmen make smart decisions usually, and if you have a good tenant that's not paying the ass, is paying on time, the smart decision as a businessman might be to keep the tenant that's already in there paying
Right.
$45 a month.
I
So-
agree.
Agree. All right. I got nothing else on Davey.
Davey boy.
All right, man. What's next? We doing electric cars or
I'm dying to know what this number 2 talk is.
okay, hold on, wait.
Well,
we got something new. You know what?
I got a
We got
story,
something
man.
new for this. We
I
got
got a story to tell.
Okay.
we got a story to tell.
We got that.
As you see, we have a new segment on the show. Anytime any of us say, "Hey, man, I got a story to tell," we gotta have a little intro for them, and then we give them the motherfucking stage. Go ahead, Jay. Talk your talk, boy.
All right. Well, I
Bring
got
you
to
up.
tell you.
How
I
do
gotta
I
tell
bring
you.
you up? There we go.
No,
Okay.
don't worry about this. I got this. Listen,
Son of a bitch.
I got this. All right. Get off me. So we talking about number 2. It's not number 2 pencil. All right. Listen, the other day, I want to say like 4 days ago, and really it probably happened earlier today. It happened yesterday. It happens just about every day that I go use the bathroom and sit on my throne. I tell my wife, I'm going to use the bathroom.
That's
All right,
what
but
you
here's
say,
the thing, though. I don't just say I'm going to use the bathroom. No, I have to give her something. I got to give her. I want to paint a picture with words. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
No, put me back on the main screen, son.
I'm trying to figure out how to get away from you.
So you just right click, or you see the
Gotcha.
3 dots, and you
There we
just
go.
put me on the main screen.
Got
So anyway, today I told my wife, hey, we were watching a movie. There was a cargo plane involved. I said, hey, I'm about to go open that cargo hatch and let and drop the bombs. Hey, she just looks at me. She shakes her head, and she kind of she's like, why? No, so I mean, this isn't new, right? This is new to you. Like, we're gonna drop
No.
we're gonna drop the kids off at the pool.
Yeah, got to be original. I feel
We're
you.
gonna, so I had to give it, my own. I was like, I'm gonna go. We're gonna go down Chocolate Mountain.
What?
Also, so it's not even, that's not even the bad part. The bad part is
That's
when
not the
I'm
bad
done,
part. Yeah.
the bad part is when I'm done after like 10 minutes of sitting there. Luckily, I don't have a hemorrhoid yet, but after 10 minutes or so, I come out and I'm like, you know what? Everything came out okay. Like I
I'm
won't
still
need
here.
surgery this time, but I'm like, look, it was like remember Hurricane Andrew with all the rain, like that's how it was, just wet. And then like
I
the
knew
other
it was gonna
day,
be disgusting. I knew it.
I've been
knew it.
eating, I've been eating good fiber, so I was like, hey, I thought I was in the movie Anaconda because that was the biggest motherfucker I've ever seen. I swear to you. And she's like, why are you doing this to me? I don't even want to know. And I have to stop because sometimes like I don't even think. She might be we have a kitchen counter. She's at the kitchen counter eating, and I'll just be like giving her my description. She's like, why? Stop. I'm trying to have dinner. And
So you have a thing for describing your poops to your wife?
I get a kick out of it. She doesn't so much, but we've been married. We've been married since 2008. So I mean,
14
if
years,
she,
huh?
I don't know if that's a reason for divorce, or at least
Might be a reason for murder. Might be a reason for murder.
One that would be respected by the court. So I figure I can get away with that. But it is a reason for murder. Maybe irreconcilable differences. I don't know.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And by the way, I need
every
you
time,
to,
John,
before, because we're not done just yet, I want to let you know that this segment
Here's the
wasn't
prop.
just brought. This
Here's the
segment
prop,
wasn't
Danny.
just brought by story time. All right. This was brought to you by Fudgy Bombs. That's right. I know you can't see it on the screen if you're just listening, but what Fudgy Bombs are 100% milk chocolate orbs filled. What are they filled with?
I'm
I'll tell you
never
what they're
eating.
Don't tell me they're filled with poop.
They're filled with cocoa mix and a marshmallow surprise.
That's a
So
terrible.
right here, fudgy
That's a.
bombs.
Why would it be a surprise? Wait,
Because
what's
you
the
pour hot
surprise?
milk on it and then it just melts and the
Oh, it
marshmallows come
opens
out of the
up.
orb.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. And we're about to have some fudgy bombs tonight after this segment, and I have some chocolate chip cookie or some cookies right in front of me. So there's gonna be some fudgy bombs dropping for sure.
That's
All
how
right,
I
man,
know I'm a
us-
dad.
bring-
I know I'm a hardcore dad because every time I tell my wife that I gotta use the bathroom, I just say I gotta poop.
Yeah,
It's
I
like the thing.
I have a stupid song if we're sharing our shitty conversations with our significant other. I go to my wife, hey, you know what time it is? She goes, it's pooping time. I'm like, goddamn right it is. Goddamn right it is. I'm about to go take care of business. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's so stupid.
Nah,
But it's just what happens, man. I mean, I got 8 years with my wife. You know what I mean? Jonathan's at 14. Danny, what you at? 12?
married?
9, right? 9?
8.
Yeah.
We've been married
Yeah,
since
man.
2008. We've been together since 2005. 16 years, going on 17 together. So
Did you start talking like you talk to your kids when they were younger? Because like when I talk about the bathroom, I call it the potty. It's like it's
Do you
just
say
random
that?
stuff.
Do you
To
say
like
that in your personal
to like
life?
adults. Yeah, like to adults.
I gotta go
I'm gonna use the
potty.
potty. Yeah, I'm gonna use the potty.
now
Like,
my son's
alright.
13. Like I'm like, hey dude, I'm gonna drop some bombs. Like he knows what's up.
He's gonna drop some
Yeah, I mean,
fudgy
he's
bombs.
13. My
Hey,
kids
real
are 5
quick,
and 2.
I can never have fudgy bombs after
Yeah,
this
I wasn't
conversation.
saying that. I wasn't saying that.
Like, I just
being
wanna-
that
I just-
descriptive when they were 5. You know, when Tony was younger. But now that he's a little bit older, he's 13, and you know, they're just words. Be
Was your
careful
wife
who-
comfortable using the bathroom when you were home when you first got together? Because I had an
Oh,
issue
this-
with
I
my
feel-
wife where she refused
I
to
knew
use
it.
the
I knew it.
bathroom when I was
I knew
anywhere
it.
near.
I
I'm
knew
just
it.
saying that was a serious issue.
Hey, Hey, real quick, if anybody who's listening or watching this, his wife is not that far away, so that's why he made a point to talk about this. And she can't
but
hear
she
this.
sees
Like
in the other room. I don't know if she can listen. She might be watching
son,
TV.
your place, she can hear you, bro.
You can hear him saying it.
You have noise canceling headphones on. You're talking way louder than you think you are.
Oh
She
yeah.
can
For sure.
100% hear you.
The neighbors can
Damn.
hear him.
Son, I can
Bring
get
it
up
down.
every time I get up because I got beats on too. When I get up, my wife goes, "Why the fuck were you screaming? Do you
Every
hate your
time.
friend?" That's every
Yeah,
time.
see. This is
Yeah,
the
no,
first
she
time I'm wearing
100
recording, so I haven't realized that I might be talking louder
No,
than
she
usual.
100% heard the fact that you just talked about her bowel movements or
Well,
lack
I'm just
thereof
saying.
when you guys
Well,
lived.
I want to know if you guys had the same issue.
Nah, man, never had that issue.
No.
No, I mean, like, it wasn't like she would tell me. Like, I mean, like, it's not like what I don't do. She doesn't do to me. Like, oh, I gotta go to. And she's not. No, like, I know she goes to the bathroom, obviously, but we don't have that conversation. Like,
You're not
Oh, no,
brushing your
but
teeth
no.
while she's sitting.
yeah, no, none.
No.
Very, very private
Never,
situation.
never.
Never. It's never. Was
Never.
it?
We
What's
went
that
on a
movie?
cruise the first year we were together.
Uh-huh.
She had to use the bathroom.
She kicked you out of the
sent me
room?
up to the Lido deck. Yeah, I had to chill in the Lido deck until she. I was just hanging out, just waiting for her to show up. So yeah, it's
no.
serious.
Yeah, no, that's pretty funny.
To
That's
tell the
crazy.
truth, it's been so long that I don't know if she had an issue.
Yeah, it's
I
forever
don't-
ago.
Does
don't
she
think
use
so.
the bathroom while you're in the bathroom with her?
No. I mean, like, you know, just like while I'm in the room and we have an ensuite, you know, so you know what I mean? Like, she's not gonna kick me out if we're
What
on
I'm
a
saying
cruise.
is the door open? Is what I'm asking.
No.
No.
Hope not. No. I mean, hold up, wait. Do you take a
don't discourage him from telling the truth?
He's like, tell your truth, speak your truth.
live your truth. Live your truth. Hey, real
Hey,
quick.
okay
Hey,
if
y'all
you
don't
do.
take.
Don't get
I'm
me
just
wrong.
curious.
I want to leave the door open when I'm going, but if she sees that,
No,
she'll
you
probably
don't.
like
Do
walk
you
by
really?
and close
You
the
take
door
a shit
on
with
me.
the door wide open?
Huh?
Wow.
You take a shit.
The bathroom in my ensuite has no door. Now you can't see because you know, like the way that it's arranged, you can't see into the bathroom. You can't see in the toilet. It's a huge bathroom, and then the bedroom. But
Right.
so and there's no door. But she's not like in there brushing her teeth while I'm going to the bathroom.
I think that's disgusting. I always,
No, she's not doing
crazy.
that. Like no one
Yeah.
wants shit particles in their mouth. Like let me
No,
put this
nobody,
mint,
bro.
this shitty mint.
Do you
Yeah.
cover your toothbrush like in the bathroom? Does it have the covers so that the shit particles don't go up there?
Dude,
No, he doesn't.
I shut the toilet and then I flush. Like you should. Like a human being. I'm not a fucking savage. And if you're not doing
I
that right
You
now,
sound like a
if
savage.
you're not doing that,
a
no,
little bit, a little.
no,
Hey,
no,
I'm
no.
about to drop
I
these
have
fudgy
a
bombs
sense of
off real
humor,
quick.
okay? I have a sense of humor, and I like to keep things spicy because
But
we've
the
been together
humor,
16 years, so
a
I
lot
got
of
to keep shit
times,
entertaining, man.
literally.
It is,
Literally,
man.
yo. Oh my god, and that's been a shitty conversation. But,
Yeah.
yo, before we get, this is funny. It's just happened to me today. So I'm at work and I gotta take a shit, right? And the place I was at, they have a locker room, but then it's like in the same locker room it's a very small locker room. Then they have a stall. In mine, like to like where and there's like a little bench. People are sitting because they have the lockers, and then you have one bathroom, one toilet. There's a dude sitting there. I was like, yo, man, I tell him, I give him the heads up, like, yo, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he like goes, I think he had his headphones in. Maybe he didn't hear me. So I go in there and I'm dropping the kids off, boy. It is. I hear like I'm on the toilet. I can hear him go, God. I can hear him go, ugh. And he just gets like, hey, man, I try to tell you. But I try to tell, like, because it's a stall, right? So it's not like a full door. It's just like a, what I mean, like the little partition. So he's getting all of that. I was like, bro, I try to tell you, man. It's about to happen in here. I was like, I want to say this shit for the podcast. I told my wife about it, what was happening. And I was like, yo, I feel bad for this guy because it's not a good situation going on right here. But he got all of that, man. I hope he
So
didn't brush
you're
his
not the
teeth in
type
there.
that's like embarrassed to use the bathroom when you're at work.
No, dude. I would before I went into the army. I was, but when like you have no choice but to shit and like literally dig a hole. Sometimes depending on where you at, or shit in like a portable with like 60 other dudes in their bathrooms and everybody taking the shit. No, never. After that, never. I use public bathrooms with zero shame.
Well, I use public bathrooms also, but for some reason, and it's stupid because I'll tell people like I take a shit, like everybody takes shit.
Yeah.
But like if like I work at a school, so like let's say that there's some like students chilling by the teacher's bathroom, right?
Mhm.
And I walk in, I'm like, man, I can't take a shit. Because if
Yeah.
I take like 5 minutes and I come out and they're still there, they know
Everybody's
I
gonna know you took a shit.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really want them to know. Like they know I take shit, but I don't want them to know that I just did that.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
hold it. I'll be like, I'm gonna hold it until this hallway's clear, and then I'll go in when nobody's looking.
No,
And
yeah,
it's
that makes
stupid.
sense.
It's stupid, but I just can't
Yeah,
help
like
myself.
everybody shits.
Do you use public bathrooms?
No.
No.
You don't use public bathrooms for real? You never took a
No.
shit in public?
Yes, I have when I have to.
I
Right.
have.
But if I can hold it, I'm gonna hold it.
No, man. Look,
Mm-mm.
it's gotta be like even if it's a fucking truck stop, like I'll just wipe that shit and
Yeah.
just
You got
go
gonorrhea
if
for
I
sure.
have to. I'm good. I have my annual physical tomorrow, so I'll let you know because I just drove back from Florida last week, so I'll let you know
Yo.
because I definitely sat down on a fucking
I heard
toilet
it's
that I had to
dormant for a
clean.
couple of years, so you might have to wait a couple of years.
Yeah, but look,
Hey,
so the other
Jarvis,
day I
real
was at
quick,
Walmart.
Real quick, just got a quick question.
Uh-huh.
When you get your annual physical and we do our next podcast, could you tell us your up-to-date height? That's all I. Please continue.
5'3" and 3/4, baby. I used to be 5'4", but I'm already 8 years past 30, so that shrinkage I started. I've lost a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna be 5'3" by the time I'm 45, maybe. Who knows?
I did not know, and also I did not know we were gonna talk for 25 minutes about shitting. But
We didn't. We talked for
We
about
didn't, yeah.
15, dude. You loved sticking your tongue up Dave Ramsey's ass for like 25 minutes.
It was an exaggeration. It
All
was an
right.
exaggeration for sure.
Hey, look, I was in Walmart before we put an end to this shit. I was at Walmart
put a butt
this weekend, and I went to I've had those times where like you're about to go into the stall, and someone comes out, and like fuck that, I'm not following this dude because that's
100%.
Luckily, that didn't happen to me. It was a free stall. I went in, I took a breath. Okay, good. Let me clean this fucking toilet seat. Let me get another damn piece of toilet paper because there's piss all over it. I sit down and start doing my business. This dude, it sounded like he was sprinting to the bathroom. I looked underneath. I saw he had like construction boots on or whatever. He opens the stall next to me. And I'm like, all right, what's about to happen? And everything's good. Like,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. Was there another stall in between, or did he have to run right into that stall?
Look,
I always think I feel about it the same way I feel about urinals. Like if there's a space, you leave that motherfucking space, bro. Just me personally.
Nah,
No.
with the stalls, I don't think it matters.
Not for. I'm saying my person. It's my preference, motherfucker. Like
No,
you can't
okay.
shit in public.
I
I'm
thought you
saying
were
like
asking
let me speak my truth.
let
You
let
know
me
what I
at
mean?
least
thought
be
you
able
were
to
asking
shit
us
where I
what
want
we
to
thought.
shit.
Yeah, I want to shit comfortably. Shit.
No.
I don't want to have like a competition out
Are
here.
they
Like
sticking their foot in there? Like, you can still shit comfortably. You got your own stall.
it's not the same. Go ahead.
All right. So
Preference.
anyway, no, I was there was 3 stalls. I was in the middle stall because
Oh, okay.
the 2 in the corners were already taken. So I was like,
I
whatever,
always
I'm gonna
take the
take this.
handicap when I got to do it.
That's the one I was looking for. It was taken, and so was the
Nah.
first one. So I took the middle one, and the damn guy in the handicap comes out. And then that's when that other dude started like running in, and I'm like, what the fuck is about to happen? Dude next to me had been sitting there for I don't know how long. He was doing his business, wasn't bothering anybody. The dude that sat down who sprinted in, I swear to God, his asshole opened up like a fucking
The
meteor went through it.
pop, pop.
It was terrible. And it was making some like fucking shockwaves, like terrible sounds. Dude, 5 seconds, the damn smell smacked me in the face. I mean, it was rough. I don't know how I wiped and got myself cleaned up. I couldn't get out of there fast enough because that shit was terrible. Like I thought he was gonna lose something. He was losing too much liquid. He was gonna die dehydration. Fucking his large intestine was coming out of there. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad.
That's my issue with using public bathrooms, like you just said, in the stalls, because you can see everybody's feet, right? And I have a thing where I look at people's shoes. I just can't help
I
myself.
know exactly where you're going with this.
So-
I know exactly where you're going with this, son.
I'm a
I know
big time. I
exactly
don't know
where
if
you're
you know
going.
because I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I'm a big time sneakerhead, right? So my shoes usually stand out a little bit, right? They might be a little colorful or whatnot. So I know
People are
that
gonna
when
know
I
you
get
shit.
installed, when I get out of here, if I fuck shit up, they know who that was because I stand out.
It goes,
And
it was Mr.
I
Shitty
also
Booty
know
over
this
there. Yeah.
because when I see like a thong sandal or something, I can see something, and I'm like, when I get out, I'm kind of curious to see who this was that just because if you could have seen the dude that ran in there, you want to know what he looks like.
I look,
You
you
would've
know,
checked on him. You would
unfortunately,
have checked on him. Like, hey,
I
man, you okay?
I kind of know what he
You
looked
good?
like because Walmart has like those doors have the gaps are so huge on those
Yep.
hinges.
You were looking through the gap.
I'm looking out, dude, and I
You
saw
were
the guy.
looking.
You're
How long
not
were
a
you
real
in there?
American. Everybody looks at their phone on the toilet. What is wrong with you? You just look
I'm
down, man.
already
Don't
putting
make eye
myself in.
contact.
I'm already
You know
putting
how weird-
myself in danger by sitting down on this toilet that I had to wipe that had gonorrhea piss on it.
You go on your phone when you're in a public bathroom?
Me? No, I
When
don't.
you,
But
when
at
you
home, I
taking
do.
the shit?
Either. Yeah.
What do you looking straight ahead? What if you make eye
I'm trying to
contact
get
with someone?
that thing done as quickly as possible. Like, let's get this over with.
Yeah, but I'm not you.
I'm
Son, you ever
focused.
like imagine if you look up through those big ass Walmart holes and somebody's looking back at you? The fuck you gonna
I'm
do then?
actually, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna tell him, stop looking here, motherfucker. That's why I'm looking.
Hey man, are you busy? I'm handling business here.
Hey, look,
I'm looking down in shame when I do it. Actually, that's what I'm
so
doing.
hey, that's why I love the stalls in Korea. The stalls in Korea, and I think in Japan they're the same way, all the way down to the ground. You can't
That's how
see
they
shit.
should be.
And then when you
That's
close
how
the
it should
doors,
be.
there's no
Yeah.
gap. They're like perfectly sealed. Like you're almost
understand
hermetically sealed there. You can't see
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I like it's
Literally.
worse. It was worse for me with my shit because like he saw me go in there. He knew it was me. It didn't matter if he saw my shoes or not. Like, hey, I told her, hey man, you might want to leave, bro. Like it's about to happen right here. It's about to go down. So he did it and he stayed, and I hope he brushed his teeth earlier that day. That's all I got to say about that. That's it. Have we covered shit enough?
That does it. That's my story, and I'm
I would
sticking
hope
to it.
Did we solve
I
shit
think
on this one?
I think that was enough. Yeah.
I think we solved bowel movements. All right, Danny, what you got for the people, man?
I don't got anything. No, we were gonna talk about the playoffs. The playoffs finally start, and I was kind of curious as to what you guys were hoping to see in the Super Bowl, because some people root for certain teams. I root for storylines. So if I could pick my Super Bowl, it would be the Patriots and the Bucks. I would love to see Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I
that's the
feel
number
like the
one story.
storylines would be awesome.
Yeah,
right.
that's the number.
Who's better and whatnot. That's the number one storyline in my opinion.
That's the
But I know
ultimate
some
because it's
people
the
that tried seeing
ultimate.
them.
It's the ultimate who is it, right? Like, is it the coach or the quarterback?
Mhm.
Right, like that
Kind
storyline.
of already know that, right?
Yeah,
Brady
no, we
won last
already
year.
know that, but I'm saying like that would be the
But if
storyline.
Belichick wins it this year, then you're like, well, was it?
Exactly. It's like, is Tom Brady's GMing with Antonio Brown really the right call, or the fact that
It
they
was
let
not.
go of?
I don't
Cam
want
Newton,
to
you know
see
what I mean?
either one in
Like,
the Super
the
Bowl
Cam
because
Newton, the
we
Cam
all
Newton
lose.
call to lose that many games and then get Mac Jones. Was the Mac Jones the new pick? Can anybody be Mac? You know what I mean? Like, can anybody be Tom Brady under
If
Belichick? Like, I'm saying, like, the
if the
talking
Patriots
points.
make it to the Super Bowl, it'll be the first time that a rookie quarterback goes to the Super Bowl, like as a starter. Obviously,
Right.
it's never
Yeah.
happened before. If Bill
Yeah.
Belichick makes that happen, like all of
Yeah.
a sudden, it's like again, it's like okay, so was it Tom
The
Brady
scales.
or was it him that he took Mac Jones to the Super Bowl? Like, I think the
Right.
storylines would
What?
be amazing.
Well, Wentz didn't play in the Super Bowl. Was he a rookie that year
No,
that they went?
Mm-mm.
second
No,
year.
no.
It was the
And
second.
he
The
got
closest is ever. There's 3 people that have gotten close. Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan both made it to the championship games their rookie year, and Mark
Okay.
Sanchez made it to the championship. That's it. Nobody's ever made it to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Crazy. If Mac Jones does it, it'll be wild.
And
But
do
but
they
yeah,
have
so
Jay, you want to pull up the schedule, see how it lines up, like what like the matchups are and like the possibilities of that, because that would be the storyline, right? Like anything else would just be like, oh, okay, cool.
no, I'm sure there's other storylines. Like I would love to see Aaron Rodgers against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
That's what I
Like
thought I was gonna see last year.
yeah, like it's State Farm all Super Bowl.
Look,
Yeah,
whoa,
who does
what's
Drake do
going
the
on right now?
commercial with?
There we go. Can you see, or do you need me to zoom in some more?
No, I can see it. It's
I can see it.
it's the spread. Oh, you got the money line up there also for anybody listening on audio.
Yeah, and I think the over unders there.
All right. Like I said, explain to me what that spread and that money line is. Like, what is that?
All right,
What does that break down?
so Ben has.
Because
I
I
think
personally don't know.
you've never bet on any sport. I'm
No,
assuming.
I've never bet on anything.
Okay, so a lot of people like to bet money lines. Well, money line is basically you're betting for the winner. Okay,
Mhm.
so if you don't want to do all the complicated spread and prop bets and you just want to bet the game straight up, you take the money line. Now you see how it says plus 185 and negative 235 for the Raiders and the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is negative, you know how somebody says like, I know I'm gonna beat your ass in a basketball one-on-one game, so I'll spot you
Yeah.
5 points.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
Right.
they're starting at -5. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Whenever you see a negative on the money line, that means that person is favored to win. Like they're starting at negative because they're favored
Gotcha.
to win. So it's all based on 100. So you see that negative 235 because they're favored to win. If you bet $235, you make $100.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And now the plus means that team's an underdog. So
A what
if
now?
you bet an underdog,
I'm
I
sorry.
see what
Say
you're
that-
doing. So
What was that?
it's a plus 185.
Was that a DAWG or? I'm sorry. I
No,
apologize.
it's a
Go ahead.
DOG. So
That's
it
gonna
was
be a no for me, dog.
it's a
Dog.
plus 185. So if you bet $100, you make 185. So it's all based around the $100, right? To make it as simple as possible.
Mhm.
So if it's negative, you have to bet 235 higher risk because it's a more certain result to make 100. If you bet the plus 185, you can bet just $100, but you make 185. That makes
Okay,
sense?
I got you.
So
Yeah,
those
no,
odds are in favor of the house or whoever you're right, because you got to bet more to win $100 if you're betting the favorite.
Right, because they're heavy favorites right there. The Bengals and the Raiders 235.
Yeah.
But that line moves as the week goes on.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And now
because
if you
injuries
bet the
come out.
spread,
Mhm.
injuries and all that other stuff. Now if you bet the spread, that's a little different. Same thing with the positive and negatives though, like favorites or whatnot. Now, plus what is that, 5.5?
5.5 and minus 5.5.
Okay. So it means the Bengals are expected to win by 5.5 points. So if they win by 5.5, so if you bet the Bengals to cover, that means you're betting that they're going to win by more than 5.5.
Mhm.
If you bet the Raiders, you bet the plus 5.5. That means that even if they lose, but they lose by less than 5.5, you win the bet.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I
And
got you. I got you.
I'll give you an example. The Nets played the Spurs on Sunday. Okay, the line was 8.5. Okay, a lot of people picked the Nets to cover, meaning they bet that the Nets would win by more than 8.5. You with me so
Right.
far, right? All
Yeah.
right. Time was running out. It's like 10 seconds left, right? And
Bad
usually
beat.
teams just dribble out the ball. and a young kid from the Spurs decided, you know what, I'm just gonna get an easy basket since nobody's playing right now. He ran up, hit the layup. It went from 10 to 8. So the Nets only won by 8. A bunch of people were really upset because they didn't cover. Even though they technically did, they should have won by 10 points. But because that person hit that layup, they only won by 8. They didn't cover. So whoever bet the over or them to cover lost money, even though they won, even though they still won the game.
Yeah.
So that's how the spread works. The spread, it's a fickle bitch.
Yeah, because you get moments like that, right? Like
those pointless field goals sometimes at the end of games and stuff like that. That kills people. But when you parlay the spread, you make a lot of money also.
The free throws at the end of the game. Somebody misses one, makes one.
But parlays have the lowest chance of winning.
Oh, of course, because you have to hit
anything.
A parlay is when you do several bets and you have to hit all of them. Now, actually, now that you bring up parlays, so what happened on Sunday? You guys heard about Klay Thompson coming back, right?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson finally came back after 2 years out or whatnot.
Like 17 points
to come back, and it was a big deal. Such a big deal that Draymond Green decided, even though he was injured, he was going to suit up for the game. As soon as players are listed as active, they get added on sports books as prop bets. You can bet on how a player is going to perform.
Right.
Kevin Durant's going to score more than 30 points. You can bet over or the under, right? He's going to get more than 5 assists, over or under. More than 5 rebounds, over or under. And you do a parlay on just Kevin Durant on all the prop bets.
More than 5 3-pointers, all that.
Yeah. So the game started, I want to say like at 9 o'clock, something like that. Like 30 minutes or so before the game starts, or was it an hour and a half? It was before the game started. Shams put out a tweet. Draymond Green wants to play so bad, or at least be part of this game, that he's going to be active, check into the game, foul, and then sit out. So he's not even going to play. He's going to be active for the game. After the tip, he's going to foul on purpose and then sit out. Why does that matter? Because people that were smart, degenerates that are bettors, what did they do? They got online, and a bunch of people made Draymond Green parlays. Under on points, under on assists, under on rebounds, and they hit all of them. A bunch of people made a lot of money, and all those sports books honored it all, even though it was kind of shady.
I mean, but that's the bet.
Yeah,
that's the bet, and they got to honor it because it was made. So yeah, and then the sports books obviously cut that off once they saw everybody was making that bet.
Yeah, they'll stop those because the house doesn't want to lose too much money.
No,
that's just wild. All right, let's run through these. Let's run through these weekends games real quick, man, and wrap
then
it
you
up.
know the over under, right? You know how that works. It's pretty.
Yeah, they have to. Both teams have to score at around that. Yeah,
49 more over or under. Yep.
Yeah. Damn, do the Bills. All right, so Raiders, Bengals.
Are we making picks?
Oh,
fuck it. Why not?
Oh, sure. I'll start. I'm going Bengals, even though I would love the Raiders to make it to the Super Bowl.
Why?
Because, again, I'm all about storylines.
Yeah.
They had the John Gruden scandal. They had that young receiver kid that killed somebody on a DUI. Like, they've had so much crazy crap. Yes. So much crap happened to them. And then they made it that last game of the year where, like, they could tie and make it, but they went for the win anyway, and they won, and they made it. Like, so much happened with the Raiders. I think it would be a cool story if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm going to go Raiders.
I'm going
because
Bengals.
Even though it's a different team, different coaches, I don't know, man. It's still the Bengals. They're going to pull a Bengals and not win the playoff game.
How far do you get from Cincinnati?
3.5 hours. 3 hours and 17 minutes.
Every
I guess you go there often.
What's that?
I guess you go there often.
I don't. I've looked it up though. I've looked it up because I thought about going to a soccer game there.
Yeah, when USA played Mexico, they played in Cincinnati, and I tried to tell him, and then he was like, "Yo, man, those tickets are like $400." Like, all right, never mind.
I think they were more than that. They were ridiculous.
You should have gone anyway.
They were more than that. I was trying to go with my son, but I think they were more than $400. So it was ridiculous.
Because that's an experience. USA Mexico for a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would have been badass.
I got the Raiders because I want to see that storyline. I want to see Carr win a playoff game. I want to see him in the Super Bowl.
I got Bengals because that's the storyline too because they've always bengled.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to bengle.
Very true. Very
like
true.
they've always been good. I think they have the ugliest uniforms in all the NFL. But you know what I mean. All right, I got Patriots. I can't believe they're not favored.
I don't. But well, because the
They haven't been
Buffalo's
playing
at
well
home.
they haven't been
Yeah.
playing well the last few games, the last few
No,
weeks.
and Buffalo's at home, but I just don't believe in the Bills. So I'm going
Me
Patriots
either.
also.
I have the Patriots as much as I hate to say it. Even though
Yeah.
the Bills are gonna do what the Bills do, right? Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Remember that from the 90s?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's true. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Danny,
they got to make it to the
break
Super
this
Bowl.
one. So one question real quick about like the favorites, right? Like, is
Uh-huh.
the bigger the number, like we see here, like the Bucks are minus three
That's a
ninety.
huge favorite.
That's because they're huge favorites. There's like no
So that
chance
it's almost like
Philadelphia wins.
600. Is that like because 290, right? It's 290. Let's say at zero, right? That's 290. So it's like 390. That's that negative is like negative 390. So it's almost like they're like almost like a plus 600 and the over. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that how that works, or am I just making a bunch of numbers up? You get what I'm saying?
No, I don't get what you're saying. I
Like
want
if
to, but again, I don't want to bore people with trying to figure it out.
yeah, but that's
Um,
a huge spread, right?
yeah, that
That's
is
the
right
biggest
because
number I've
if
seen.
you bet $300, you're only making 100.
Right.
But
Yeah,
if
that's
you feel
insane, bro.
confident in the Eagles, you go ahead and you bet $1,000 and you make a sweet profit.
Yeah.
So
2200. Yeah.
is this all right? So who we got? We're going Bucks on that one. Bucks and Eagles.
Oh yeah, I don't think the Eagles have any chance.
Yeah. I don't think so. I
That's
got the
that.
Bucks.
Yeah, I got the Bucks on that one. It's Tom Brady, bro. 44-year-old monster. This is a close one here.
This one brings back memories when I used to watch football when the Niners and the Cowboys had meaningful games in the playoffs. It's like must have been
Yeah,
like
yeah.
early 90s,
I
late
saw some
80s.
people saying that they should wear throwbacks for this game.
Yeah.
They should. That would be dope.
Uh,
I got Niners. I just I don't.
I hate
Look,
Jimmy G only because he just came from New England, and so I'm going to continue that hate. So I'll take the favorites, which are the Cowboys. But of course, the Cowboys might pull a Cowboys and not win. But I'm
hey,
gonna stick with them.
Cowboys more historically are more Cowboy than the Bengals or the Bengals. Because
Yeah,
the Bengals go like 2-14, just losing the regular. But like the Cowboys find the way to lose when like, hey man, you probably should win this game. Tony Romo drop this extra point real quick though. You know what I mean? Like they find different ways to lose big games. Hey, Des Bryant drop this touchdown.
that was a
You
catch.
know what I mean? Like they
That
find
was a
different
catch.
ways.
That was
That
a
was a
catch.
catch.
Of course, it was a catch, but it's a Cowboys way to lose, though, right?
Uh-huh.
Like that's a Cowboy way to lose.
Well, yeah. I'm going Cowboys.
I got the
I think
Cowboys too.
I think they have a squad this year. And look, you thought that the biggest spread was going to be that Bucks
I
Eagles.
thought
Look
so
at
till I
that
saw
Chiefs
this.
Steelers.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. Here's
Yeah.
real quick spoiler. Had no idea the Steelers made it. Like I knew like what the ramifications were, but because they were like 8-1 or whatever the fuck, or 8-9-8-1 or whatever, like I was like, no team that bad.
Did you watch that game? I told you. Wasn't I talking to you during that game?
Yeah, I put it
you
on
saw-
after you texted us.
You turned it off?
On.
Oh,
'Cause I wasn't
God.
watching it.
It was, and you know what? I don't even know how. What's that guy's the guy's name? Staley, the coach. He called the timeout right before the field goal was kicked.
The Chargers,
Well,
right?
he called the timeout when it was third down, and it looked to me at least like the Raiders were just letting that clock run out.
Yeah, that's
like
what it
they
looked
were.
like.
They were like, whatever. If it's a tie, it's a tie. Like we're good. We're
Yeah.
gonna make it. My goal is to make it. I thought they
Exactly.
should have gone for a tie because when you go for the field goal, the thing is they got closer. They got that 10-yard run, so they got closer for a field goal.
That
But like where
previous
they
play,
were,
yeah.
right? But where they were gonna kick like a 50-something yard field goal.
Mhm.
And if you kick a 50-yard field goal, you got to kick it at a lower trajectory, increasing
They're
the
blocked.
chances that it gets blocked.
Right.
Now the chances of blocking it are slim to none,
Mhm.
but there's a chance. And
Yeah.
if it were to happen, how stupid would you look? Just let the clock run out and just make it with a tie. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The coach said
Yeah.
that he was thinking about it, and then when they called a timeout, he changed his mind, and they went for that run. And there's
No,
that.
I don't know how he. I mean, that 10-yard run in itself, I was just like, oh my god. I thought that once he busted that 10-yard run, I said they're in manageable field goal distance, and I know that all those things you said make sense. But that'll give a coach second. Like let's go for this win.
Did you
Well,
hear
it's a
why the
46
Chargers said
yarder
that
now.
they called? Did you hear why the Chargers called a timeout?
No, what? Why was it?
He called it. He said he called a timeout because he felt like they were going to run one more play to get closer for a field goal, and that it looked like they were going to run, and his run defense, his run package wasn't out there.
Mm-hmm.
So he called a timeout, and I was like, man, like that's really got to suck because you put in a defense literally out there to stop the run, and on the next play, he ran for those 10 yards, which gave him the field goal.
Yep.
I was like, that's brutal.
Yeah.
But isn't that the same coach who went for it all the time against Kansas City on 4th down, and like kept putting themselves in like bad positions in that Kansas City game? Like
Well,
kind of cost them.
he did it against this game. He went for it on his 18-yard line, 4th down, on his own 18.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. That's insane. Like that's so stupid.
I like
So,
that shit. I like it. Be aggressive.
Yeah, you like it when it's. Yeah,
I wanted to see the Chargers in the playoffs, and I was looking forward to seeing a Steelers fan that I'm going to see this week. My sister-in-law, and just kind of.
There you go. This is another good storyline. You know what this reminds me of? Ray Lewis.
No.
The Ravens have no chance of beating the Broncos because Ben Roethlisberger's gonna retire. This could be his last game. I was at Ben's house when he first moved to Tampa. We were watching Ray Lewis, and we thought we were watching his last game against the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in the divisional round, or maybe the walk. I don't remember. And then Joe Flacco hit that Hail Mary, and then Ray Lewis somehow moves on to the next round, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. Nobody expected it, but it was awesome. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it would be cool.
I mean, look at that spread. I don't think it's gonna happen either.
So we all have Kansas City, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Let's move on.
Great storyline.
Great storyline.
Great storyline. Take this out. Take this L right into retirement.
And this is the best game of the weekend, I think, and it's on Monday. I think it's the first time we have a Monday wildcard game.
Yeah, because we got to actually play off game.
Yeah.
Because usually Monday Night Football ends. I got Rams, man. I think the Cards are a little bit.
They had a little
bit too injured
second half.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I got the Rams.
Yeah.
So we're doing all favorites.
Yeah. Did I go up? No, I picked the Pats.
You picked the Niners.
Yeah, I picked the Niners.
Oh, that's right. And I picked the Pats also. You're right.
Yeah.
And I picked. Who did I pick? We picked the Pats, and did I pick another one non-favorite? Oh, and I picked the Raiders. I picked the Raiders and the Pats.
Yeah, I went all favorites. Pretty much. Yeah.
I wish we could bet on this, but in Florida we can't bet.
And I want to see. I want to see Stafford. Like this whole time, I thought that Stafford, just like every player that goes to Detroit, just wasting their career away, their talent. It was great for Johnson out there, but that's great. He and Stafford could have played catch, but
you ever seen Calvin Johnson's finger?
No,
his hands are like fucking mangled.
You think that's bad? Go ahead and Google Torrey Holt's fingers.
Dude, I was watching
Torrey Holt's hand.
I was watching
some fucked up fingers.
Some shit on like NFL Network.
But it's no matter. Torrey Holt's an amazing receiver because he basically had like 3 thumbs. His fingers are just like circular. Like if you throw it down here, he's got a finger down here somewhere because his hands are so fucked up. What? His hands are so fucked up.
Hey man, you can't just screen share that. All right, we're done with the odds and evens and over unders, all this shit.
It's like
let me see this hand, bro, before we end this. I might need to throw up as I walk off.
Torrey Holt, I love Torrey Holt.
Let me see if I can open. Hold on, you'll see it in a better.
No.
I'm gonna open the image in a new tab, which is right here. And then I'm gonna zoom in.
No.
Yeah, man.
No. Who is he catching from? He's catching from like Kurt Warner? No.
Kurt Warner.
For the Rams. Yeah.
Got a movie out about Kurt Warner.
Antonio Freeman has some messed up hands also, but that's because of Brett Favre, he says. Brett Favre broke like almost every one of his fingers, yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, he's a fucking monster. Okay, all right.
He also likes to send dick pics to secretaries.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's what he does. And then blame them because it's their fault. Mm-hmm. You made me do this. Fuck out of here, you fuck. All right, we got a bunch of like side podcasts happening there that I wrote down something like, yo, we got to talk about this on one show. But I got nothing else, man. I didn't know we would go so long on story time. I like the new segment. You know what I mean? It was.
I'm actually disappointed we didn't go long enough because we spent almost half an hour on Dave Ramsey, but That's what it is.
But what's weird about the Dave Ramsey is that I thought that Ben put it on there because he wanted to bash him, and then we all just ended up agreeing with him.
You saw he
no,
started
that's-
backtracking. He's like, "Oh
Yeah,
man,
no,
we
I
all
was-
agreed with
was
Dave
not-
Ramsey.
We all agreed with him on the business side. I was like, I wondered why he went so viral, and I was like, oh, he's just, if he doesn't throw in the Christian thing, this doesn't even fucking hit a blip
No,
on
yeah.
Twitter. Nobody
Mhm.
gives a fuck about it, but you know what I mean? Like you throw in, like we always said back when like all this stuff was shit you didn't want to talk about. Like anytime we talk religion, it's gonna spark like a wildfire. I was like, you don't throw that in. It's just a regular landlord shit.
Yeah, because that gets people going. Religion and politics.
Exactly. Gets the people going. It's provocative.
Hot topic issues. Yep.
Yeah, man. All right, man. I got nothing else. JV, you got anything else?
no, man. We'll
Can I
talk
have a
about it
fudgy
next
bowl?
time. My wife won't ride with me if I buy a Cybertruck. So I'm trying to convince her. I'm gonna have to.
What the hell's a
I'm gonna have
Cybertruck?
to. What?
We'll
I-
save
you're
that
gonna
for
have to
the
get
next
kicked
show.
off the show, but we'll save that for the next
Yeah.
show. But my wife is not going to talk to me, be seen with me if I happen to purchase a Cybertruck.
Is that
And
minivan?
so, nah,
No.
son.
No, again,
But
we'll save it for the next
but,
show.
but
Episode
anyway,
217.
I'm gonna have to.
That's a teaser. That's
I'm gonna
teaser.
have to back off the number 2 talk if I'm going to have any chance of convincing her to ride in the passenger seat with me of that truck or let me buy it in the first place.
no, she's not gonna let you buy it, bro. She'll just put the fucking keys up on a high shelf and you're fucked. All right, man. I got nothing else. Danny, you got anything else for the people?
No, sir.
Jay, that's it. No Cybertruck for you. Like, remember you got the little toy car, the little RC. You know, you got the little RC car. You good there?
Yeah,
All right,
man.
guys.
I
We
got
out.
fudgy bombs.
Peace.
Free Kyrie.
Fudgy bowls.